In this WrestleTalk news, Vince McMahon pays out millions to an alleged victim, WWE's sale price revealed, and the real reason for Cody Rhodes' Rumble return being revealed. So subscribe and enable notifications to Always On for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Rock rolls, spaghetti rolls. Vince McMahon's return to WWE has not exactly been controversy-free so far. Firstly, it being an immensely bad idea, and secondly, of course, it being an immensely bad idea. Now we'll add a third thing to that would-be trifecta, as the publication whose name should send shivers up any McMahon's spine, the Wall Street Journal, have published yet another report. Oh goody, that's going to go well for them. This time they're reporting that Vince McMahon has agreed to a multi-million-dollar settlement with former WWE referee Rita Chatterton, who accused him of rape back in 1992, and this comes from people close to the agreement. Now, Chatterton's allegations resurfaced in 2022 as a wave of sexual misconduct allegations came crashing down on McMahon, which many speculate was the main motivator for his short-lived retirement from the company. McMahon's lawyer had received a letter from Chatterton and her representatives back in November 2022, which demanded $11.75 million in damages for the alleged assault. Now, the Wall Street Journal article claims that Chatterton ultimately settled for a figure below that $11 million sum, but still in the multi-millions of dollars, though they could not determine the exact amount. Just check which account it all came out of this time, eh, Vince? Just remember to do that. McMahon's lawyer, Jerry McDevitt, said McMahon denies and always has denied raping Miss Chatterton, and he settled the case solely to avoid the cost of litigation. Now, according to the Journal, this deal follows a $7.5 million settlement McMahon reached in 2018 with a former wrestler who alleged that he coerced her into giving him oral sex, as well as a 2022 agreement in which he agreed to pay $3 million to a former WWE employee with whom he allegedly had an affair, though he has refused to comment on either of those agreements. Obviously, this new quashing of a potential legal battle with a settlement also comes as rumours suggest that WWE is readying up to be sold. And that was one of the reasons that Vince cited as his main motivator for returning to the WWE after 6 months of absence. It was all to help with the upcoming media rights negotiations and look into other strategic alternatives, like a potential sale. Now, obviously, I have my personal opinions on all of this, but my lawyers have advised that I don't say anything that might get all of us in trouble. So I'll just go with, oh, it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? And what of that potential sale? Who to? How much? Not them. These are the questions and exclamations that we've all been making since the news broke that Vince was seriously considering selling the farm now that he's back. Well, we might have an answer to one of those questions, as Dave Meltzer is reporting in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE is looking to flog itself for a hefty chunk, rather than flogging in sort of penance for certain sins. Oh, it's all a mess, isn't it? Now, Dave suggested that WWE is hoping to sell for a figure somewhere in the $8.5 billion range, noting that analysts believe Comcast is capable of agreeing to a deal more in the range of $7.4 billion to $8.2 billion. That's way above the going price for a poison chalice. Despite all the doom and gloom surrounding WWE lately, let's not forget that the Royal Rumble is just over a week away, so get hyped, everyone! We all love the Rumble, right? The one last year! It was bad! And while we won't know how good this one's going to turn out to be, it does at least look on paper to be one of the more exciting Rumble events in recent memory. The Women's Rumble match looks to be extremely wide open, and while the same can't be said for the men's match, its perceived predictability doesn't particularly hold it back this time, mainly because Cody is someone a lot of people actually want to win, unlike previously predictable outcomes in 2022, 2016, 2015, etc., etc. Now, while Cody was pretty much nailed on to make his triumphant return at the Rumble, it was perhaps a little bit unexpected that WWE made the decision to spoil one of their biggest surprises ahead of time when they announced it on this week's Raw. Well, according to WrestleVotes, the decision to announce Cody prior to the match was due in part to the fact that everyone already expected him to return, but also because WWE are reportedly more than pleased with the other surprises that are lined up, so they didn't even need Cody. Who exactly could these other surprises be? What's that? WWE have dropped new The Rock merch on WWEshop.com? Well, I guess that pretty much answers that then. The Rock Royal Rumble return confirmed. That's right, because while The Rock's status for the Rumble and WrestleMania has long been speculated, the closer the event has gotten, the more doubts have crept in. Cody is still the odds-on favourite to win after all, with Dwayne a joint second along with Sami Zayn. Please let it be Sami. Please let it be Sami. However, as mentioned before, WWE have curiously dropped a pair of brand spanking new Rock hoodies hoodies onto their online shop, which also uploaded a video of The Rock and John Cena agreeing to their WrestleMania 28 match from the April 4th, 2011 episode of Raw. If WWE are indeed keeping their biggest surprises for the Rumble, then perhaps that means we won't be seeing The Rock appear at Raw XXX for the Bloodline Acknowledgement Ceremony after all, despite WWE claiming that every single generation of the Bloodline will be present. I guess we'll get one piece of our answer on Monday night. Speaking of major ex-WWE Hollywood stars teased for WrestleMania, how about 16-time world champion John Cena? Because Big Match John, along with Dwayne, has seemed like a cert for a Mania appearance of some fashion for a while now, and while The Rock only feasibly has one proposed opponent, Cena seems to have a few potential options on the table. Most obviously, of course, is Austin Theory, the heir apparent to Cena in many ways. Now, Theory and Cena have done their fair share of teasing over the past year, and most interestingly, it was reported by Fightful Select that Cena and Theory in fact filmed a segment together while Cena was in Tampa, Florida for the December 30th SmackDown. And while that all seems to suggest that Cena and Theory have plans together, another man has also a fair shot of standing toe-to-toe with Cena in Hollywood, and that is none other than Logan Paul. Paul himself has put in some legwork for a match with Cena at Mania, making a challenge on his Impulsive podcast back in November, and now it looks like Cena may have cryptically responded to Paul via his always extremely random Instagram page, with Cena uploading a photo of Logan and his brother Jake, in which Logan is holding a WWE Championship belt. Now, as mentioned, Cena's Instagram activity has always been a bit of a troll, so perhaps he's simply averting fans' expectations and/or just teasing Logan. However, I guess maybe there's more to this than that. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Talk about flip-flopping. Wait and see. Who knows? Probably something in it. Maybe there's not. Who knows? Maybe there's something in it. Maybe there isn't. Sasha Banks' major splash as Mercedes Moné at Wrestle Kingdom 17 was, despite everything else that's happened in 2023, one of the most significant moments of the year, and something that had been building ever since both Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE all the way back in May 2022. And while Mercedes has now obviously made her WWE exit official, Naomi's status is and always has been a bit more of a mystery. Well, according to a new report from Fightful Select, Naomi in WWE have maintained positive contact throughout her absence, with one WWE higher-up telling Fightful that they are confident Naomi will make her return to the company. However, when asked about a timeline for a return, the WWE source could not provide a definitive answer, especially when quizzed about a possible appearance for Naomi at the impending Bloodline Acknowledgement Ceremony at Raw XXX 30. Whatever we're calling it. Also, according to the report, both WWE and Naomi were excited about a contract extension prior to Naomi's exit last year, as her current deal was reportedly close to expiring upon her walkout. The report said the terms of her new deal were said to be the biggest money of her career. However, it obviously remains to be seen whether the same offer will still be on the table if she decides to come back to the company. And you know there's all this rhetoric of surprises for the men's Rumble. How about a Naomi Rumble return in the women's, eh? And while Naomi may be set to make a return to WWE, a WWE Hall of Famer has recently announced their departure, because Devon Dudley took to Twitter to announce that he had officially parted ways with the company, thanking Vince McMahon, Triple H and Stephanie for his near 7-year stint as a backstage agent and NXT coach. Now, Devon's departure comes just a month following a bit of controversy for the hardcore legend, in which he was booked to appear at an ECW tribute show for Battleground Championship Wrestling on December 17, 2022. However, according to PW Insider, Devon would later be controversially pulled from the appearance after WWE sent a legal letter to BCW, a decision in which Devon attempted to get reversed. However, instead, he was given a firing warning from Triple H. It's unclear at this time whether this incident is related to his departure now. However, the timing, admittedly, is a little bit curious. Lastly today, following the tragic passing of Jay Briscoe in a car accident on Tuesday, an update has been provided by friends of the Briscoe family on the health of his 2 daughters, who were also involved in the accident. After initially being reported that both of Briscoe's daughters, Gracie and Jaylee, were in critical condition following the incident, his wife Ashley stated that while both girls have suffered serious injuries, both are currently stable but have a very long road to recovery ahead. We would just like to make everyone aware that there is a way to support the family at this incredibly difficult time via a Gives and Go page, which we will link below. The page, which was set up by a friend of the family, has already raised over $170,000 already and has been approved by the family. We at WrestleTalk would like to continue to offer our condolences to Briscoe's family and friends at this time and extend our sincerest well wishes to both Gracie and Jaylee in their continued recoveries.
David Arquette. He's a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Who would you like to see him start a feud with?
Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville.
Arquette versus Knoxville, WrestleMania, Hollywood.